Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sebelum memulakan majlis, saya akan memperkenalkan penceramah kita. Beliau yang saya maksudkan ialah Prof. Ajung Zulkifli Abdul Rani. Prof. Ajung Zulkifli Abdul Rani mempunyai pengalaman selama 20 tahun dalam industri minyak dan gas, terutamanya 20 tahun dengan Petronas dan 8 tahun dengan syarikat-syarikat JLC. Beliau juga merupakan Profesor Ajung di Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. Karier profesional beliau dalam industri minyak sangat luas, antaranya sebagai pengurusan kanan Petronas, Ketua Pegawai Operasi Sapura Crest Petroleum, Naib Presiden MPRC, Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif KPRJ Petroleum Johor, dan ahli akademik iaitu Profesor Ajung untuk Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. Pada masa ini beliau adalah penulis bebas dan pengarah urusan teknologi Driver Link Sdn Bhd, dan beliau juga merupakan fellow korporat di UTM MPRC Institute of Oil for Oil and Gas, sebuah strategi think tank dalam minyak dan gas untuk negara. Beliau juga merupakan penasihat dan ahli lembaga pengarah di beberapa syarikat lain. Tanpa melengahkan masa, majlis menjemput yang berbahagia Prof. Ajung Zulkifli Rani untuk menyampaikan ceramah bertajuk Strategic Leadership. Dengan segala hormatnya, dipersilakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Yang saya hormati Tuan Pengerusi Majlis, yang saya hormati pengurusan tertinggi Universiti Tun Hussein On Malaysia, dan yang paling saya hormati ialah saudara dan saudari participants yang masih bertahan lagi untuk hari terakhir. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, again, I was here yesterday with purpose because I want to meet your Vice Chancellor, and I want to also listen to his talk yesterday. And so that before I give my talk today, what I consider is knowledge sharing. So at least I have a full view about what is his expectation or his aspiration, so that I can hopefully help your yang berbahagia Prof. VC Wahid achieving what he want out of this session. Again, my topic today, first of all, I'm as what you call is Mr. MC mentioned today. So I came from industry, an absolutely different area from all of you. You are all academicians. So I look at all this profile that was shared with me earlier on, and looking at your title, your position, your qualification, definitely you guys are much smarter than me. So I'm trying my best to share my pengalaman, my experience, and bear with me. If there is anything that kekurangan ke apa, just please forgive me. Okay, anyway, strategic leadership for the future university leaders. I think it is not an easy topic to be dealt with, because leaders come from various perspectives, various experiences, and so on. So it is all up to all of you to basically pick up the knowledge shared, the experience shared, expertise shared, so that you utilize it to the benefit of your application. My knowledge sharing today will be touching upon at least 4 or 5 main points. I'll give you a brief about my background and also setting the scenes. It resulted from Prof. VC Wahid yesterday. We'll talk about what is strategic leadership. We'll talk about 1 or 2 examples of it. Then what's more important in my knowledge sharing today, if you pay attention, is about the strategic leadership with respect to the global oil and gas scenario, where I'm coming from. I got just humble 28 years of experience. Not that long though, because there are people with 35, 40 years. Yeah. So nevertheless, I've got to do it. I've got to do this kind of knowledge sharing so that all of us can benefit, hopefully one way or another. Yeah. And last but not least, I hope, if time permits, I put in my slide about 5 or 6 cases, my own experience, ranging from Petronas, from public listed companies, Sapura Crash Petroleum, from regulator perspective, once I was in the Prime Minister office. Yeah. But having said that, not the current Prime Minister, the previous Prime Minister, but having said that, it doesn't mean I support what the previous Prime Minister is doing. Yeah, so I need to qualify that. But a lot of occasions when I say I was once Vice President in MPRC, Malaysia Petroleum Resource Corporation, unit in the Prime Minister office, and they say, oh, you must be the blue-eye boy of Datuk Sri Najib. That's why you're there. I said, no. I'm there because of his former economic advisor and also the Chief of Staff, that Arwah Datuk Azlin alias, if you remember the incident, the helicopter crash, 2015. So Arwah Datuk Azlin alias was my good buddy actually. He was the one actually chartering my career movement dari Petronas, public listed, regulator, back to where I am today. But of course, kita merancang, tapi Allah adalah perancang yang sebaik-baiknya. Kan? So when I lost him in 2015, April, helicopter crash with the late Jamaluddin Jarjis. I don't know Jamaluddin Jarjis that well, but Dato' Azlin, yes, is my good friend, my good brother. In fact, we talk a lot of things about national agenda. So he was the one that brought me into this high-level profile. So when I lost him, for a moment I thought this is the end of it for me, because I lost a good brother, a good advisor, who actually shared with me a lot of strategy about what is the national agenda, what is Alif Bata, agama, bangsa dan tanah air. Yeah. So, but life have to go on. This is again a true story. You can't be depending on people forever. You got to be standing on your own because you are a leader yourself. Yeah. Okay. So the last 2 segments, the one that I really hope to drive some key points so that you folks, as the future leader of the university in UTHM or any other university, could take away some good points as a guidelines. Yeah, inshallah. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about my simple background. Okay, this is my small family and my future leader. Yeah. So the picture on the left, of course, I'm the captain of the family. Yeah. So I got one wife. I remember in one of the Biro Tata Negara forum 3 years ago when I was invited. It was at night actually, 9 p.m. I understand. The MC, one of the students, in front of the university student that going to be studied overseas. So this one MC boy read my profile before he called me to the stage. And he said, Prof. Ajang Zul is blah, blah, blah. And he has, he is married with one wife's adik S kat belakang. Tapi dia kata one, and 3 kids. So everybody was laughing. They catch up benda tu yang ada S kat belakang. So it's very important. Nasib baik I didn't bring my wife masa tu. I was very loud and clear, one wife's adik S kat belakang. So I said, oh, I got to correct it. So it's a small family. I mean, just a bit of introduction. My wife and I, we met in California State University in Long Beach. We are both a government-sponsored student. She's an economist, and I'm electrical engineering. And a lot of occasion, if you talk to the marriage counselor, they will always tell you the engineer and the economist or accountant cannot stay together under one roof. But I proved them wrong now. For nearly, 27 years now. And I got 4 kids actually. You will notice only 3, yeah, because the second one passed away in 1994 after she was born, and she managed to stay alive for 20-25 minutes at Tawakal Hospital KL. But the sad story about it, I wasn't there. Where was I? I was in offshore platform in Miri at that time. Yeah, I'll touch about it later on. My eldest, Farah Farhana, she graduated from Australian University last August in TESOL, Masters in TESOL. And Alhamdulillah, after she came back mid-August last year, under the purview of the bad economic situation in the country, where there are a lot of unemployment, right? I mean, everybody, including universities, I'm sure all of you, the lecturers, the professors in the universities are also hearing the same story. The concern about graduates couldn't land a job, those kind of thing. What more, it become more concern when people said if you are not doing technical stuff or engineering stuff, the prospect is not there. And I told her when she just graduated, you can stay in Adelaide, go and try your luck, it's okay, because if you want to do that. I said, no, but I want to come back because I've been here for 2 years already. I want to come back, I want to serve the nation. Okay, by all means. So she came back, she take a break for about exactly a month and a half, and she got a job. She applied, I don't know what she did. She applied a few opportunities, and she got 2 offered, and finally she landed with Fairview International IB School as an educator. So she's been doing well, she's been confirmed, and I'm happy to note her progress. So basically, the fact that even the previous minister was telling that, okay, this is the reason why the 450 students, the graduate couldn't get a job, because they are taking the wrong courses, i.e. even accountant, English, this kind of thing. That's not absolutely true. Yeah, because it is depends on this individual. How do you present yourself, how you apply, how you make yourself through in this process of interview that determine whether you are being accepted or not. Yeah. So Alhamdulillah. The second one passed away. If she's alive today, she's 26. If she's alive today, she's 24. Faiza Farhana. The boy, Faisal Farhan, 22 years old, just left back to Virginia Tech 2 days ago to finish his degree in chemical engineering. Swear to God, I didn't influence him to be an engineer. He himself chose to be an engineer. So Alhamdulillah, at least I've got some continuity. And the youngest one, 19 years old, Filza Farhana. She just graduated from Switzerland on IB, International Baccalaureate, at Aglon College. So before you ask me, sir, you must be damn rich to be able to send your student in Switzerland for 2 years. I am not. Not that rich. Boleh lah. Okay? But she got a scholarship from this international college with an 85% value out of this 106,000 Swiss francs per year. So out of 106,000 Swiss francs, they offered her 85% scholarship based on her IGCSE, which she's got 10A from Cempaka College. So Alhamdulillah. So they are progressing, and inshallah she'll be going to Ivy League University probably by next 2 weeks' time. Yeah. So again, the house will be empty again. The boy's gone, the youngest is going to be living, the eldest is busy with the school, only me and the wife. Yeah. So Alhamdulillah, sometimes God is great. When they give you an opportunity, they don't wait until the children get married. They test you when the early stage, so whether you survive or not. Alhamdulillah. Okay. So this is the family, and this is the photo on the right when I took them to my university after my posting in ExxonMobil in 2003, 2004. So I hope they could be the future leaders that I dream of. Yeah. And likewise for all of you who have children. So they will be the next generation for our beloved Malaysia. Okay, my journey. All I want to explain on my journey is I've got the opportunity, Alhamdulillah, I've got the opportunity, being an oil and gas technocrat, to be able to serve as an operator in Petronas. Petronas is basically, some people call it tauke, but the right term is operator because we control the activities in the country, right? And then I decided to get out from my comfort zone, because when I was there for 20 years, I felt like you didn't know whether people respect you because who you are or because your position. I'll give you an example. When I was in Petronas, one of my responsibility to be the chairman of the joint tender committee. You know, project that billion of dollars. So when you become the member, you are already strong. What else? You are the chairman. So that was a moment when, even at 1 o'clock in the morning, you got a call, you got messages from your colleague texting you. Then you have to respond to it. I said, why is it? Just want to get your approval, sir, because we want to push the paper tomorrow, but the secretary said it's too late. So to that extent, they will look for you. But when you left the position, when you left the company, these are the people that you're bound with. They don't even recognize you. Yeah. So this is life, ladies and gentlemen. In the real world of corporate world, I'm not sure about the university, but in the real world, you will see this. Yeah. So I decided that after 20 years, I said, look, I want to get out from my comfort zone. I mean, enough for people to call us tauke or boss. I said, I want to be in the oil and gas term. They call contractor, forgive me, they call it lembu. Why? You want to enjoy, because contractor normally get paid higher than at that time from the oil and gas company. You want to go karaoke, you want to do anything, call contractor. That's why some people call it lembu terms. And for once, I said, I want to understand, what does it mean? I got to be there in order to understand. So then I understand, oh, okay, this is what it means. They give you a quite fat salary, but they squeeze you like hell. I mean, for 20 years, I was never being hospitalized for whatever reason. But when I joined this contractor as COO of the company, public listed company, after 1 year, first time I was hospitalized for 5 days. That's the nature of the work, the pressure that you have to carry. Yeah. Then I move on to become the regulator in the Prime Minister's office. I was in Johor GLC. At the time, I was telling your VC yesterday, we shared the same boss, because Sultan Johor is your what do you call it, Chancellor, right? So I used to serve Sultan Johor when I was the CEO of KPRG Petroleum a few years back. We were trying to develop Pengerang. And here I am, part-time academician as adjunct professor, going all around the country, sharing the knowledge with the students, the professors like you, the public. What is it about oil and gas industry? What is it about the energy industry? What is it about the leadership, the patriotism, the nationalism? Okay? All right. Setting the scenes. Let me ask you again. I just want to make it interactive, yeah, so that I'm not the only one who's talking, yeah. Let me open up. What was the key point from your VC talk about strategic leadership yesterday? Maybe you got 2 or 3 people volunteer just to highlight. Any volunteer? You know, he was talking about nearly 2 years, 2 hours yesterday, right? Yeah. And I have my note when I was sitting in front here, in this piece of paper, quite full. So I can put 20 points, but I just want to know maybe the top 4 or 5. Any volunteers? Yeah.
We prefer not to have yes men in this team.
Okay. Good.
People has to say your mind. Give an opinion. For him, it's okay to have different direction, different opinion, different views.
Any other point?
Asking the why questions, keep asking the why questions, and he asked whether he is the kind of people to give freedom to the people to do whatever they want to do. Lisa.
But you asked a lot of questions, so I remember. Any from the ladies?
The takeaway would be, as leaders, he says we have to be followers first. Yeah, and he encourages us to challenge decisions and ask the why question.
Okay, same thing like what the guy Nizam picked up, yeah? Okay. The back table? Siapa nama puan? Faridah, ya. Fantastic. You talk about be open, ask why, professional. Anybody else want to add before I move to the next slide? Maybe our friends here. Online system, yeah.
You must have the DNA kecemerlangan warga education.
Absolutely.
Which is low carbon, campus aman, Masa.
You know what really amazing, I'm telling you guys, ladies and gentlemen, the sequence that you give me is exactly what I picked up out of 20. I decided to pick up the 5 best. Look at it. Good heart, Mursid. Of course, amanah, trustworthy. I mean, ask why, good heart, amanah, trustworthy, professional. And you mentioned about DNA. I hope you guys didn't get my presentation material up front, because I know for sure I didn't give to one Fauzia. So that's what I'm saying. This is brilliant. Maybe you can read my mind. Oh, excellent. And so this is it. I mean, this is exactly. He said a lot of things, and I thought, in my view, you guys shared with me as well. The top 5 that I thought very impactful is the issue of keep on challenging and asking why, and not how and what. Yeah. And then you must have a good heart, because with a good heart things will move. And of course, this one word, amanah. This is not the mat sabu punya amanah, yeah. Because yesterday I was informed from my colleague in PMO Putrajaya, there's one issue about his pegawai khas that actually, hopefully it's not true lah, but tapi the SPRM is already get in the 800,000 ringgit payment to help him out of this muflis status. And this is damaging actually to my view, because the new government that are eager to make a difference shouldn't have this kind of incident happen. Yeah. So, but anyway, that party amanah. This is the amanah that we talk about. Yeah. And yes, Puan Farida at the back is right. The thought of being a global leaders, that because you want to produce professional, and it is best that you be a professional as well. Yeah. And last but not least, our friends here, Saudara apa tadi? Saidin. So, when you mentioned about the DNA, yeah, and this is fantastic. When I was sitting here, I was listening to him. He was telling the story from his heart about the rendah carbon. I mean, this is SDG, right? The campus amal, when he was quoting some example about, don't be too rigid. If the guy couldn't enroll in electrical or mechanical engineering, don't just tell him, sorry, we are full. Try to understand, try to offer an alternative. So that's the caring part of the leaders that needs to be inculcated in every part of the organization. Yeah, menepati masa, and this is not only in university; it's also happening in every part of the organization in the world, including my organization. Yeah, budaya ilmu. Yeah, so he has set us in what he wants, what he defined as strategic leadership. What he wants all of you, the 46 of you in the room, as regarded as the future leader of the UTHM, to be when you move on from here, yeah? And to continue setting the scenes, and I've shared this, and this is very high level, this is higher education landscape. I'm sure all of you have seen it, yeah? So nothing new for all of you, yeah? You can look at the number of academics, the number of universities, enrollment, those kind of things. Yeah. So I think my take as technocrat from this graph, this slide is there are a lot of competition. Yeah. So nowadays we cannot say that we cannot stay complacent at all time, because if you stay complacent, you will be out of the market. Yeah. So then these are the challenges that being put up when they put up this kind of high level. Again, nothing new, insufficient output, budget, communication skill, autonomy, industrial academia collaboration relationship, low return on investment. So nothing new, right? So our job today as a leader for the future is to mitigate this and to make sure that we minimize the uncertainties that could affect the universities. Yeah? Okay. Strategic leadership. Strategic leadership have many forms of definition, for sure. There is no one single right answer. Yeah? Before I move on, I just want to interact with all of you. Yeah? Can some of you, or maybe a few of you, help me define, what do you think, what is your definition of strategic leadership? Any volunteer from this table? Calling one, calling two. Okay, we move on at the back while you're thinking. Nick.
So I think what I'm understanding with strategic leadership is that in my practice, not the other people practice, that first, once we have a vision by our country, example we have Malaysian vision on educational development, for example, based on that strategies, based on national agenda, so we spread it out down level. We use this, so at our level we have to streamline our strategies, what we try to do based on the national agenda.
So you're saying what's our mission and vision, then we have execution, yeah?
Yeah.
Any other views from this table? Yeah, miss? Doctor, next time don't look at me, otherwise I point at you.
So perhaps something to do with the ability to encourage and to influence people.
Okay, encourage and influence, all right?
And to see an organization as a system, as a whole, holistic.
Okay, thank you. What's your name again?
Mimi.
Mimi. Okay. And any more? You want to give it a try? Oh, okay. Okay, you finished thinking now, eh?
I think able to strategize. Strategize meaning that you can look at the problems, you can solve the problem with a different kind of thinking.
Problem solving, ability. One more from this corner? Succession planning leadership.
We have leadership from the Islamic perspective.
Yeah, start. Open up.
Saya strategic leadership bermakna dia satu dia dynamic yang mengekalkan filosofi penting kepimpinan, and then dia boleh datang dengan mungkinnya jadi keadaan itu tidak chaos dan sebagainya. Dia membuat keputusan yang firm dan tepat. Itu pada strategic leadership ni berkaitan hikmah. Do the right thing at the right time.
So ability to make a firm decision.
Yeah.
Terima kasih Ustaz. Ustaz apa nama?
Saya
Nama Ustaz?
Muhammad Isyam.
Muhammad Isyam.
Ada sebelah.
Okay, alright. Okay. So, very interesting, right? If you go around the table, you will have the diverse definition of what is strategic leadership. But let me show you what I found. Actually, my youngest daughter, Filza, give it to me last night. He said, Abba, since you're going to be talking in front of these professors and lecturers of universities, why don't you use this cartoon to define what is strategic leadership? This guy went for an interview. So he was asked by the 3 panel about his leadership skill. What did he answer? He's the admin for 17 WhatsApp group. You may laugh, but this is the reality today, isn't it? How many of us, including myself probably, we have so many WhatsApp group today. Sometimes we are too busy to respond to our wife or our kid message because we got too many WhatsApp group. And today, this guy went for an interview and claimed that one of his strategic skill leadership is because he's managing this admin of WhatsApp group. But this is a reality, because if we don't correct it, it will be embedded in the young generation. Yeah. So it may be in the format of cartoon or jokes, but it has a very deep meaning behind it. Yeah. Okay. Strategic leadership. If just want to pick up some few examples. Yeah. So if you look at how Albert Einstein defined it, he said we cannot solve problems using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. So that's how he defined, that's how he look at things in this perspective. The other one is President Xi Jinping, the China president. You heard about OBO, One Belt, One Road initiative, yeah? So I thought personally, being an oil and gas man, so OBO is one of the smartest way, the Chinese way, of leading the world in an effort to energize the global economy. You know, he is doing it while Donald Trump is putting this concept of American first. Because United States of America, the president of the USA used to be the world police leader, right? When he said, I'm going to go America first, then all of a sudden there's a vacuum there, and Jinping came up with this kind of vision to put this OBO initiative. Of course, if you want to debate about OBO, we'll take about another 1 hour. Is it good, is it bad? But again, I'm talking about the initial thinking that leading to why he's having that. Can you imagine that by having this OBO, China will be controlling the maritime destination that they have an interest. They can actually get involved in infrastructure development. We don't have to look at far away, look at our country, right? We have, what is it, the proposed ECRL. We have the Bandar, Malaysia. We have so many things. Yeah, so you cannot blame Jinping because he is doing it because he knows how to capitalize the weaknesses of the leaders of the other country. If you are strong, if you have a principle, there's no way you will fall into this kind of trap. Yeah? Okay. And of course, last but not least, Yama Bormat, our Prime Minister, Dr. Mahathir, he said, he got so many quotes, but I just pick up one. He said, to be a great leader, one needs to have a good strategist, for sure, to be knowledgeable and able to predict the future. Yeah, of course, with the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, it has many kind of definition. Everything that you said just now is all correct, but I just want to put it in a perspective, yeah? But, taking into consideration what Einstein, what Jinping, what Dr. Mahathir have said, these are all quotes, yeah, perfectly captured the need of strategy and the essence of strategic leadership, and they are defined as a plan of action designed to achieve the long-term and overall aim. Yeah, so this is what strategic leadership is all about. You talk for the long-term target. You don't do it for the short-term. Yeah, normally long-term, and strategy is closely related to leadership, and this is why you all are here, part of this leadership program. Yeah, and the strategy leadership is a process of using well-considered tactic. So it could be a methodology, could be a persuasion technique, or communication skill to realize the vision. And the aim of this strategic leadership is to prepare the organization for the future, whatever the future might be. Yeah. So it doesn't matter whether you be in the academic world, you be in the technocrat world, or whatever world you are in. You must be prepared, you must be equipped with strategic leadership, yeah? Okay. I'm going to use a lot of pictorial today, yeah? Okay. Just look at that. The one on the right. Okay. What's wrong with it? Does it sound familiar for us in our work environment? Right? So, can you look at, you look at the definition. If there are any human resource people here, I'm sure they will be very interesting for you to analyze. You have CEO, you got COO, you got MD, HOD, operation manager, specialist, senior officer, engineer, supervisor, and you got worker. At the end of the day, it's only one person doing the work. Right? That's not strategic. This is not strategic leadership, this is bullying leadership. And yeah? So we don't want that. We don't want that. We want the one who know how to basically make use of the team, work together, holding hand in hand, and give appreciation, recognition when things are get done. Yeah? So that's what strategic leadership is all about. Okay? Okay, let's move on to the example of strategic leadership. Before I get, this is a precursor actually, because I want to get you up to speed before I talking about the OLNG profile today, what is the journey, that's somewhat going to be drive your motivation anyway, yeah? Okay. Give me again, I just want to ask all of you, give me again, who's your good example of strategic leader? Maybe I just go around the table, maybe from this table. Encik Amri, Prof Amri. Prof Amri ini sebenarnya I lupa nak cakap. Dalam UTHM ni sebenarnya, when through my career, I got a lot of academician friends from other universities. Except UTHM. I tak ada kawan. I tak pernah ada connection. So some of you might have thought Prof Wan Fauziah could be my first connection. No, she is the second one. The first one that get connected to me from UTHM is Prof Amri Lajis. You know how we get connected? Because one day I was commenting on one posting Facebook. I have Facebook. All of you have Facebook kan? So there's one posting by one ex-VC of university lah. Kita tak sebut nama universiti mana lah. So he was commenting on something. Actually, he was commenting on something related to what I'm going to talk about in the next slide. So he was commenting about TN50. You know about TN50? Yeah? Tun Najib 50. That's what they said. So, he was commenting on that with full detail about, okay, this is great program, blah, 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 and then this is the history in it. But, and of course, he's got a lot of followers, and the followers come from also academician, PTDs, and professional, and everybody keep commenting and giving likes, but nobody realized what I realized. What did I realize? I realized this guy, while he was giving all kind of complimentary comment on this TN50, basically to polish Najib, he dropped Vision 2020. He talked about new economic, dasar ekonomi baru selepas insiden 1969. He talked about wawasan. He talked about, this new economic model, TN50. But he left Vision 2020 for whatever reason. While anybody else give comment, great, Tanya, that's superb. It takes this one crazy guy like me to say, excuse me, sir. I still hormat him. I still call him by his title. I think you need to remember. I said, this is great, but why did you omit Vision 2020? Is it because you don't like Tun Mahathir? I was make it very blunt. And he didn't even recognize that comment. He didn't even like that comment. He didn't respond to that comment. He let it die. And so much people say about this is the leader, the future leader of the academic. Then all of a sudden, I hope you don't mind, Prof. Amri, because I like to talk from the heart. I got one private messages from somebody that I don't know because it's not my friend. And I look at Prof. Amri Lajis, I tak tahu siapa dia. So he said, Prof. Zul, congratulations. I read your comment on this guy. You are brave and you are correct. You are true. This guy has been like this and everybody knows about him. So I didn't, oh gosh, I got a strong follower punya. And he's a sincere follower, I know. Because it takes people with, like most sebut tadi, your VC sebut, with a great heart to say that. When there are 100 people ignore that, 100 people say, yeah, good, and one people say, you're right, I know for sure that one person is sincere. That's how we become friends. Then he add me, and we become friends. Then he disappeared for a while. Until Prof. Mana Wan Fauzia? Bawah. Until Prof. Wan Fauzia came in and added me to be her friend. Then I said, oh, another UTHM. So I got 2 now. And of course, I posted, I did a lot of talks, and then I like to share my thought, you know. And I think she must have going through my Facebook wall, and she said, finally she said, Prof, I want to invite you for to be one of the speaker at my program. Is it okay? The topic is strategic leadership. So I said, I mean, it doesn't take me a second to decide, yep, I'm coming. I don't even ask how much is the rate. Have you got what incentive you're going to provide me? I just said yes. And I did it because this is amanah again. Because, you know, you have a knowledge. If you don't share it, it's no point, right? So I feel like, okay. And also, with the niyat, I want to meet the new leaders of UTHM, all of you, alhamdulillah, today and yesterday and today, Allah Ta'ala tunaikan. So I'm able to meet, and hopefully later on I can mingle and get to know every one of you, right? So now UTHM become my next contact. And hopefully, lepas ni, in addition to Prof. Amri dengan Prof. Wan Fauzia, I can have, if not all, maybe the majority of you can be my new friends in the Facebook, yeah? So that we can then exchange knowledge, yeah? Okay, again, I'm looking for example of strategic leader. Maybe each table, okay, from this table, we individual. Who is your example of great leader, of the strategic leader? Okay. Arwah Tun Razak. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Correct. Siapa nama Prof? Lukman. So Tun Razak, ya. Okay. Table belakang. Example of your strategic leader. This table, ladies table. Smiling, he's smiling. Oh. Yep. Yeah, he's exceptional anyway. Yeah, what? Yeah, okay. Thank you. The back table. This one. Must be plenty. Too many.
We have discussed this some several leaders. Pick Lee Kuan Yew. Transform Singapore from the third country up to the leading country within
This table.
Yang bulannya mereka tu.
Selepas dia meninggal, setiap orang dapat satu ekar tanah.
Sekejap. Sila. Ya.
Been following Tumari for some time.
Tumari.
Okay. The best thing of him is he can kill.
He can
Kill.
kill.
Maksudnya,
Go for kill.
when we look at the East policy, he killed the British. Okay, we managed to take Guthrie, we managed to take down because of the kind of thinking. Strategically, we changed direction so that people will notice Malaysia, and so that we are able to make the people change their mind. I think more thinking.
Politik ni dia boleh diburuk.
Okay, so it's very interesting perspective. Let me share it again. This table here said Allah Yarham Tun Raza, true enough, yeah. International perspective, Martha Stewart, yeah. Got two names from this unique table, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Tun Dr. Mahathir, Mimi, Lee Kuan Yew, our father. All of us, our father actually, strategic leader. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Jalil, for reminding us on that. I hope it's not because you dapat tanah sekar tadi lah. I'm joking, okay? And then this table is Tun Dr. Mahathir. Yeah, but actually, to be honest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 table. I was waiting juga, Kokot, any table will say, who's the example of strategic leader? Prof. Dr. Wahid Razali ke? Tak ada oh, dalam, okay. That's the reason why I put this question. I want to see where is your leaders close to your heart. Okay lah, kita bersangka baik, walaupun tak sebut, he is already given lah kan, hopefully lah, yeah. But again, I'm pretty glad one table over there and this table over here mention the name, the example that I'm going to use. So dah boleh agak lah siapa kan. You know, when I look at this photo, I just got this photo 2 days ago. It made me proud. Made me proud the way he walked, the way he's being surrounded by his bodyguard. Yang selama ni kita fikir hanya akan berlaku pada pemimpin Western, yeah, US President, British Prime Minister, those kind of thing. But kita tak realize actually we have our own strategic leader in that nature. Yeah. So of course, if you ask me, there are many good examples. Yeah, I have a long list as well, but I just picked up him for a reason actually. Yeah. And you look at again what he defined this true leader. He said a true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, the compassion to listen to the needs of others. It does not need to set out to be a leader, but become one by the equality of his action and the integrity of his intent. Yeah? And that picture at the back of his photo, the Petronas Twin Tower, means a lot, which I'm going to be talking for a while about the next section. Yeah? Okay. And then, you know, it is a dream for maybe not all, but most of us, the Malaysian, to meet him, right? So it's not that easy anyway. But I was lucky. I mean, I was lucky in my life. I've got an opportunity to meet him. To meet him when he was the Prime Minister before, when he was retired. He was badly bashed by all these other party before. Yeah, can you imagine? They throw him a lot of names, Mahathir, Tuan Nyanyok, Sindal, those kind of things. But he just smiled. He just smiled. You know. I put the compilation of what he's thought when I got a chance to meet him multiple times. So I thought these are the 3 or 4 points worth sharing with you. Yeah, you don't have to like it, but you have to acknowledge it. Yeah. So I thought when he said, you know, don't just talk about problems. Don't come and see me. I have these problems, sir, or Ayanda. I already know the problems. He knows the problem. But tell me how to solve it. Why is the problem? Exactly what your Dato' VC said your Pro VC said yesterday. Not how, not what. And he said the leader must sound an optimistic note against a chorus of pessimists. Isn't it what we've seen for the last few months prior to the election? Bukan calang-calang orang, I think dah heart attack dah. What else he at 92 or 93 being pressured by this kind of thing with his intention to fix the problem in the country, right? But he say optimistic. He keep on believing in what he believe needs to be done, yeah? And the other thing that really impressed me in person when I have the opportunity, when he told me that, Zul, failure is not fatal, yeah? And it should challenge you to the new height of accomplishment. From honest failure can come valuable experience. That's the catch. The failure have got to be honest. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you learn more from your defeat than that of your victories. I mean, kita in all this while, including myself maybe previously, we thought we just want to be showing something yang benda-benda yang positive. Or we win something, we earn victories, then okay, we want to show it. But if you are fail in something else, you don't want that. Yeah. So actually, in philosophy, the other part of the coin, that's the strong messages actually. If you want to boost, you want to motivate, you want to inspire other people, the leaders. Yeah. And of course, decision making, like what Ustad and his table said just now, firm believer decision making. So, because decision is the spark that ignites action. Until a decision is made, nothing happens. We can be grouping in AKEPT for 3 days, 5 days, not a problem. Talking about leadership traits, patriotism, nationalism, but if you don't make decision, what needs to be done next, nothing happens. Okay, so all this kind of investment that you've been having, because I want to understand it's not cheap to group you people here, and also not cheap to pay me for 2 hours to deliver this special talk, right? But it is worth that we pick up all those messages, we pick up all those lessons learned, and bring it back and help your organization, in this case your university, to deliver whatever the aspiration by your VC yesterday. Yeah? Okay, enough about this. Okay, now I'm going to come to, sorry, what time do I have to finish? 1. So that's 2 hours, yeah? Yeah, okay. Or maybe terlajak sikit tak apa, ya? You guys okay, yeah? Kalau delay lunch, yeah? Okay. Okay. Let's come to the real business now. Because I'm the energy man, I'm the oil and gas man for 28 years. So I thought, while I'm giving the opportunity to talk about leadership, strategic leadership, I'll try to put it in the perspective of the oil and gas global scenario today. Yeah? So I understand that, I'm not sure, I didn't do any sample, how many of you are familiar with oil and gas, but I'm taking it, to be safe, I'm taking it everybody on the same floor, yeah? So that we can start all over again, yeah? So that is fair and square. Okay. This is the world map of the global oil and gas or energy, and I call it blood and oil. Sounds scary, isn't it? Blood and oil. But there's a reason. And if you realize, if you look at the map, if you look at the 6 major components that I highlighted, Middle East, where the OPEC countries are residing majority, the Saudi Arabia, the Russia, China and India, the big population country, where the demands are coming from. Of course, Uncle Sam, the famous Donald Duck, Trump, kan? So nanti bila you dah siap video, delete yang duck, eh? And of course, Africa, the jewel of the Nile, that the almost forgotten continent, but there are a lot of future there, yeah? Okay, let's look at, okay, why I didn't mention Malaysia here. It's not that I don't love my country, but Malaysia in the context of oil and gas, if you look at with comparison with all these big brothers, we are small. Though we are small, but we have the appetite, we have the aspiration to make it big in the world arena. We have done it, and in some cases we are still trying to do it. Yeah. Okay. Middle East and OPEC. There are 12 oil producers. This is the cartel. You know this oil price. How many of you pay attention the crisis that we just gone through since July 2014 until December last year? Did you realize? I mean, you know that the oil price drop happened, right? And I hope you also realize the repercussion that what happened to us. And university are also badly affected because your budget got cut. Betul? Because your budget got cut, not enough R&D funding, not enough salary increment. You can't travel to overseas, you can only travel to AKEPT, but they're still good to come to AKEPT. Yeah, the food is good. Yeah, but this is what happened. They have this oil export cartel led by Saudi Arabia and some of the Middle East, some of the North Africa, South American country. They are the one that actually controlling majority of this oil producing. Yeah, so at the moment they are not united, they are not having the unity, it causes trouble to us. Yeah, and Russia, I call it shrewd Vladimir Putin. He's a shrewd guy. His mind is exactly like Dr. Mahathir in terms of strategic strategy. And Russia is a big oil producer in the world. 10 million barrels per day. Yesterday I mentioned about it, right? 10 million barrels of oil per day production. Malaysia is now 500,000 barrels, 500,000. We are so small, again. And yet we talk big, right? China and India, they have one common thing. They have the big population, they have the big appetite for the economy. And I did mention just now China under President Xi Jinping, with his Obor initiative philosophy, which is to control the world economy, world trade. So he has that vision. Because he has that vision, have you ever heard about Xiamen University? You know that? Okay. And do you know that they have a big, beautiful campus near to the airport? Okay, good. So you are alert of your competitor, which is good. Alert about your competitor is good, but also exploring opportunity, whether they can give you a good package. But, you know, I mean, with due respect, okay, I gotta tell this from my heart. I've been doing a lot of talk. I went to one university to another. And when I went to Xiamen about a few weeks ago, and they managed to get about 100 students. The session was at 4:30 after my office hour, after my meeting. Yeah. So I thought when I came at 4:30 on Wednesday, I told the head of the organizer, if you can pull me 10 or 20 people, that's good enough. I don't need that big people. Okay. Even, I mean, lillahi ta'ala, if I only have one people standing in front of me, listen to my talk, I'm fine. At least I've done amanah. Yeah, I don't need to be having 1,000 people in the room, make sure all the numbers good, then I come in. No, I don't need that. Because all I'm looking for is amanah and redha from Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Because this is knowledge sharing, right? Because Rasulullah pernah bersabda kan, bila matinya anak Adam itu, semuanya akan terputus kecuali 3 perkara. Apa dia 3 perkara itu? Ya, amal jariah, sedekah, wakaf, amal jariah. Yang kedua ialah knowledge yang dikongsikan. Tak semestinya amal agama saja. Knowledge kita dari segi kepakaran kita dan sebagainya. Dan ketiga ialah anak lelaki yang soleh. Dan alhamdulillah, saya ada anak lelaki tadi saya sebut. Tapi itu tidak menjanjikan. Yes, me and my wife have trained my boy to be as good boy as possible. Alhamdulillah so far. Dah umur 22 tahun, dia balik baru ni sebulan, nampak alhamdulillah. But I cannot take it for granted. Like your Prof VC said semalam kan. We cannot take for granted, in his case, is the university will stay. You got to be prepared when one day the university is dead. What are you going to do? What happened to your future, right? So in this case, even though I have anak lelaki, I cannot say, okay, good, I have him, I can get one portion of the doa. I hope that way, but there's no guarantee because life is still a journey. But we have the first two. Kita boleh buat wakaf, kita boleh buat sedekah. It doesn't matter how much. Lepas tu kadang-kadang bila orang kita tengah makan, sorry I divert a bit kita tengah makan, datanglah orang buta dipimpin oleh orang celik, bagi tisu kan. Ada kawan-kawan kata, Prof, saya ada terbaca ni dekat social media. Apa dia? Ini sindiket, dia kata. Sebenarnya orang tu tak buta, dia celik. Ini tak sepalah. Kalau kata you nak bagi, itu dia dengan Allah kan. Betul tak Ini kita, niat kita. So tak payahlah kita diinfluencekan just because $1, $5 or $10 kan. Ya, itu kita punya sedekah. Ataupun benda yang kita wakafkan. Saya pernah duduk dalam foundation of education. Saya kata, look, kita nak buat foundation so that the money that we gather will then serve the underprivileged Malaysian people. It doesn't matter Malay, Chinese or Indian, Kadazan or Iban. So that these people will have the opportunity to be in university. You never know, one day will come to your side, kan? You never know. When Allah Ta'ala want to tarik balik rezeki kita, kan? So, the easiest part for me is knowledge sharing. So, that's why, bila saya, to be honest with you, bila saya terima jemputan dan sebagainya, bila saya bercakap dengan kawan-kawan di industri, di oil and gas industry, the first question they asked me, Prof, how much they paying you? I said, Subhanallah, you all tak ada soalan lain je? No, dia kata, for you to agree to come, knowing you are busy, knowing you are very selective, to come, they must be paying you handsomely. I said, that's not the priority. You can ask Wan Pauzia, she can confirm that. Saya kata, saya nak buat amal ibadah, kan? So dalam DNA UTHM tadi tu, kan, amal tadi, kan, boleh dikembangkan. So mungkin 2 hours, 2.5 hour session today, you pick up some knowledge, you boleh pick up a small group for 1 hour, you balik, you call your student respectively, hey, come, I want to give you the perspective of strategic leadership with respect to the oil and gas scenario today. Then you got amal already, right? Inshallah. But the reward will come. It's not us to decide. Mighty God. And it's quite true, right? Okay. Di mana saya sekarang? Jamin. So Ziamin tu, bila saya pergi, terima kasih. When I tengok, Wednesday petang, they have the last class at 4, and 100 students came in and packed the room. You know, with due respect to our, this is mostly the Chinese from the mainland, right? 30% Malaysian Chinese, 70% from the mainland. They came santai, swap in the, biasalah kan, baju t-shirt. But I don't measure them by their look, like your Prof. VC said yesterday. I look at them at their heart. They stick for the 1.5, 2 hours. They plan for 1.5 hours. Finally, I dragged to 2 hours. They stick. They never left the room, and they've got notes with them, writing down what I've been talking and showing in the hall. And the most important thing is they ask a lot of questions. This is what Prof. VC cakap semalam. Keep on building, keep on challenging, on questioning why. Kalau nak tanya pun, it's worse than tak bertanya, believing that you know everything. Tapi kalau bertanya pun, just for the sake nak tanya pun tak boleh juga. You know, this budak-budak zaman ni, and I asked them, so I tanya you daripada mana? When I asked, majority are from mainland China, kan? Of course, some of them English are still not really good. This is why they have been standing here, right? But they ask fantastic question, superb question. That means, what it means, when the dean of the organizer promote the talk that Prof. Zul is coming a week in advance, they already prepared. I can send the question. This is not a typical question that I got from the local university that I got normally. Example, sir, is it true the oil and gas are dying, sunset industry? Then I said, where do you pick it up? Oh, I read it from social media. I heard it from my friend in Korekopi. Oh, okay. Then I said, why? Oh, if that's true, I want to change my line from engineering to business, just for the sake of I can graduate. Ini budak-budak Malaysia, budak-budak Melayu kita ni. Big university yang ranking QS dia claim tinggi ni. Kan? GLC University pun ada. But this Chinese student from Yemen, they're asking about things like policy with respect to renewable energy. How can the conventional oil and gas, the fossil fuel industry like what I'm doing now, be appreciated when there are a lot of push for renewable energy? My goodness. Kita kat sini apa berlaku? You look at the government agency before, kementerian yang bertanggungjawab to push this energy of apa? Renewable energy, KETA ni kan. Push and push and push without even recognizing what the past contribution of the people involved in oil and gas. And of course, I didn't deny that 28 years in the industry, I'm not saying that the oil and gas is clean, is good, no. Kan? But you cannot be putting this kind of mentality. You just want to achieve your aim of promoting the renewable energy, solar power ke apa ke. Then you talk bad about, the oil and gas is bad. They are dirty business. They are, what kind of name? Kan? Subhanallah. And I told these people, these are the industry, whether you like it or not, since 1901, when the oil was found in Malaysia, in Miri, Sarawak, that has been channeling the economy of the country named Malaysia all this while. And since 1974, when Petronas was formed, with the ideas from Arwah Tun Razak, who actually mooted the idea in 1972, when he called Tengku Razali one day to his house. Datuk Najib was still a small boy at that time. I met Tengku Razali, he shared the story with me. And Tengku Razali tanya Tun Razak, yes Tun, is there any reason you called me on this Saturday weekend at 2 p.m. in your house? Yes. They said, coolly, we have, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us with the oil discovery, oil and gas, yeah, hydrocarbon, we call it. Since 1901 in Miri. And then it's going to Sabah, going to Terengganu, those kind of thing. And today people in Kelantan also claim ada kat Kelantan. Okay, boleh terima. But tapi kalau ada orang claim negeri kelahiran saya Melaka ada minyak, tak betul. Just because nak dapat royalty, that's not true. Okay? Because today kan, everybody is fighting for the royalty kan. So bila everybody is fighting for royalty, they start talking nonsense. Okay, I want to claim as well because what's your basis? I believe, I think we have oil. We found oil. Maybe minyak urut lah kot. Kan? So, the late Tun Razak told Cooley, I want you to do 3 things for the country. What are those things? Number 1, this is Malaysian map. Number 1, please take back the oil concession from the foreigners, which is Shell and Esso at that time. Now today, ExxonMobil, right? Because Esso in Terengganu and Sarawak, Shell in Sarawak and Sabah has been monopolizing and colonizing our hydrocarbon resources from day one. What do we get? Only a mere 5% royalty because we are Mando. That's what we are dulu kan, Malaysia kan, orang Melayu kan, suka jadi Mando. Okay, macam gambar tadi lah. You do this, you do this. At the end of the day, you only collect 5%. The guy that you bagi arahan tu, they collect 95% and they brought it back to their home country. You know, I'm telling you, Holland or Netherlands or Belanda ni, they don't even have a drop of oil. Kalau you pernah pergi Holland, tak ada. But what do they have? The biggest oil headquarters for Shell. That been controlling the oil in the world. That makes Shell as number 1 and ExxonMobil number 2. And ExxonMobil ni pun ada sejarah juga. You know, those time when we have a crisis in oil, you cannot stand alone on your own, right? So the concept of merger comes in, business merger, right? You got to merge with this, that, and that. I'm jumping a bit. I was supposed to share about that, but I'm jumping a bit. So I was one in the consortium with ExxonMobil, Chevron, Texaco, and Petronas, undertaking the job in Chad, Africa. The big oil field, 900 million recoverable of oil, subhanallah. The biggest until today. And I'm so glad, I'm so syukur kepada Allah, I'm be part of it dalam my pengalaman. I was sharing a room with one guy. And this guy, nama dia ialah Mike Sewell. The last name is spelled as S-E-W-E-L. He's pronounced as, what's the name? Mike Sewell. So I call it, in my country, if I pronounce it my way, I call it Sewell. Mean gila. And he doesn't look happy. We are sharing the big room lah. Because I'm Petronas guy, dia budak mobil. So Exxon Mobil merged, right? Mobil is warna biru kan? Exxon warna merah, right? When Exxon Mobil merged, the whole color become red. So those Mobil people lost their identity. So I tanya dia, why you seem not to be very happy in this consortium, Mike? Yeah, how can I be happy, Zul? First, when we merged, I don't have any more identity. Even my corporate color blue gone, become red now. It become Exxon Mobil. So I was telling this boy, he was younger than me at that time. This was 2002, 2003 when I was there, posted. Hey Mike, you should be very grateful, you know. I said, why? You are lucky that Exxon merged with Mobil, become Exxon Mobil. Imagine if Mobil merged with Chevron. Why? Then you become moron. They cut the short, then become moron. So anyway, so the third one is, the first one is, Tun Razak said to Tengku Razali, take up all the concession from the foreigners, Shell and Esso. The second one is, form the national oil company, which is called Petronas today. And the third one is, ensure the proceeds from the hydrocarbon are going to be distributed fairly and equitably to all people of Malaysia, especially the Bumi Putra and Malays at that time who really need this economic contribution, support, right? Tongkat at that time. So it's loud and clear. You're right. This is an example of strategic leader at that time who've been, having a far-sighted view. Rather than we become a mando collecting the royalty 5%, maybe you increase 10%, might as well we be part of the game. We can increase our revenue, our equity. Then we can also participate. But we have to set up our own company, national oil company, which I'm benefiting for the last 20 years being there. From a fresh engineer until I become the management, until I decided to go out of my comfort zone, right? And this is the big contribution this strategic leader like Arwah Tun Razak have done. That's why I feel sad what Datuk Sri Najib have done to the country. He knows what his father's legacy. I met him several times when I was in the VP of Prime Minister's office. But there are other influences. There are other factors surrounding him that make him what he is today. And that's why I don't have to come out from retirement at 93 years old to help fixing the problem, so all of us and our future generation can have a clear way forward, clear path. Yeah, imagine if we are still in that kind of doldrum. Yeah, I couldn't imagine university budget cut, no scholarship for bright students to be overseas. I was lucky in my case because my children got international scholarship because they are in international network. Alhamdulillah. But what about the others, right? So we got to fix it, because imagine this is the map of Petronas. This is the map of Malaysia, right? Do you know that since 1974, when Petronas was incorporated based on PDA 74, until December end 2016, Petronas have contributed 962 billion ringgit to the government of Malaysia. Just remember that number, 962 billion ringgit. And out of 962 billion ringgit, 464 billion was during zaman Datuk Najib become Prime Minister for the last 9 years. Okay, pause for a while. 464 over the last 9 years. Where did the money go? The university should have fat budget to do what you have to do, right? You should have you shouldn't have any problem at all to do your R&D, to do your recruitment, whatnot, right? So, this is what we're talking about earlier on. Amanah, sincere heart, right? So, when I was presented with the number 962 billion for the since 1974 until end of December 2016 saja, tak masuk last year, I said, wow, that's a lot. What you've seen is only the famous Twin Tower, right? That costing the country about 7 billion ringgit. What about other things? Yeah. So that's why I think anak-anak muda di universiti, the siswa and siswi, which I call orang campus ni, have got to be cleared on this sejarah. Macam saudara kita ni kata dia sejarah kan. Because they need to get the right sejarah. How to get the right sejarah? You got to get the right info. You got to attend. You got to pick up the right knowledge. You cannot afford to say, never mind, let somebody else do it. It's okay, I can read from some other sources. No. Even if I pass this presentation material to Wan Fauzia and the team, I just said, never mind, you just copy this, distribute to any one of you. That's why I refuse to give it up front, because number one, I'm telling you, you might not get 100% from my mind, from my heart. You got to be here to really listen with empathy, to really understand what this guy is going to be talking about. Then you will get the full benefit of it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sometimes that's why I got my officer always got problem with me, because I'm not good at reading a speech material. They will prepare, I will never use it, because if I read it, I'm not authentic. I become like, so I like to let the environment guide me, kan. So bila tengok ada ketuk-ketuk ni meja ni, ada nak share tu, kan. But then I get the best out of me, kan. So that's the example of strategic leaders. What our friend mentioned just now, Tun Razak. It was his idea, who mooted the idea to set up Petronas, so that the future Malaysian, the future generation have a place to contribute, to participate and contribute and learn about, and to be a real professional from that table mentioned today, kan? So that when you carry the same message in your university agenda, I want to make sure that the student who graduated, they will be the true professional who really know how to contribute to the industry. You got the pahala, right? Because you know the facts now. Since 1974, it's not joking, yeah? Okay? But again, this is the map of oil and gas in Malaysia. So basically Sabah, Sarawak, Terengganu with a bit of Kelantan, yeah? So other than that, not to say tak ada, the seismic is everywhere, but belum ada rezeki. But they were saying that there's something in Pahang, there's something in even Perak, Perairan, so it depends on the technology, okay? Pardon me? Oh, the color just to indicate different block. Tak ada tu. But the one on Sabah, the blue color means deep water. Yeah, I mean the color on the other side could mean ESO block or Cari Gali block. That's all. Yeah. But for oil and gas, what you have to know as the leader of the university, you don't have to read 100 pages of book on oil and gas. You just study this, you already get A+ in the exam. They only have two components: the upstream, the downstream. Then they got a product, which is all this, you can read that, the LPG, the LNG, this kind of thing. And I'm just adding the fourth version, just like IR 4.0 again. So I'm just pushing this integrated oil and gas services hub. And this is what we're working closely with the new government. Sir, we need to move ourselves from the oil producing dependence country. Look at what happened when we have oil crisis. When we have oil crisis recently, right? Because we are not prepared for the services portion. When the oil price dropped below, we stopped all the project. People got fired, those kind of things. But should we have the oil and gas services hub, we can be like Singapore, we can be like Korean. We don't have to worry about it. So that, again, requiring a strategic thinking from the strategic leader. If the leader didn't see that, and forever we'll be in trouble. Yeah? Okay. So if you're talking about oil and gas, again, I touched about it yesterday about shallow water, deep water, but this is the true picture. When we started in 1974, we are all learning from foreigners. So, as I said, oil was found in Malaysia in 1901. Only 1974 Petronas was set up. Only 1978 Petronas Cari Gali, the operating arm of Petronas, was set up. And only in 1980, Petronas Cari Gali managed to develop and operate our first development, which is called Duyung for gas and Dulang for oil. So have you looked at the transition there, right? Couple of years. Simple reason, because we need to train our people, we need to produce professional, we need to have technology, blah, blah, blah. But once we are already in the driving seat, the rest are piece of cake. So shallow water, as I said yesterday, definition below than 100 meters, 120 meters. So this is piece of cake. So ranging about maybe 40,000 barrels of oil production per day. At that time, you might consider this big. But today, in the context of deep water, 30,000 is peanuts. People laugh at you, as I said yesterday, right? So by 2000, continuing from what I said yesterday, when we have a deficit of national production, we have no other choice. We were left at the situation at that time, do nothing means don't have to open the deep water block yang banyak tadi. You're going to be there forever. We still come to the office at 8, going back at 5. Collect our salary, and that's it. But if we do that, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I think we are doing injustice to our next generation. And you people are teaching and producing a professional, right? You are going to produce a professional from university to be able to participate in the industry. But if we don't get the infrastructure, the prasarana ready, then we are adding problems to these products, right? Because they couldn't land a job. There is not enough job to be captured in the country even, right? But look at the vision. We are migrating from shallow, we are going to deep, and we are going to the complex project. And of course, because UTHM is in Batu Pahat, I hope you are paying particular attention what happened in Pengerang and Pasir Gudang, right? Because you know why I say that? I was in one of the, delivering one of my talk in front of 250 students and staff of one university. When I was talking about, you know, Pengerang is coming up, this is 100 billion ringgit, 100 billion ringgit project. Make sure you produce, make sure you study smart, you graduate with good quality, you can get the job. So I was talking after a certain period of time, then I just realized when I look at the response from the face of the student, the audience, I said, do you guys know where Pengerang is? Look at Seling, look at Tingkap. And majority of them didn't know where is Pengerang. And there's one boy brave enough to say, yes sir, Prof, I think I know where is it. Ah, okay. What do you know about Pengerang? There's one beautiful lobster restaurant, sir. I've been there. You've been there, nama dia Jet Restaurant. You go and find out and check. You've been there, right? Yeah, yeah. Should you extend another 20 minutes drive, you arrive to the location of the project. Rapid project I'm talking about. Refinery and petrochemical integrated development project. 100 billion US dollar, ringgit Malaysia. 100 billion ringgit. We don't even know where is Pengerang. How can it be? And you call yourself educated people in the university? And you ask the student, how come? Oh, our lecturer never also shared with us. Our lecturer also didn't know what's going on in this oil and gas. But again, I mean, we can take it as a joke, but in the nutshell, when Petronas and the government of Malaysia decided to embark a bigger project like this, with the hope that we can create a critical mass of job employment, project opportunity for entrepreneurs, and training skill for the students and also the lecturers. Yeah, so this is there to be grabbed, not just to pass by. Yeah, but you know, just the story like deep water. You know, when we were bringing in the deep water story, yeah, that we said we are going to build this technology for the first time in Malaysia. A technology called SPA for KK, technology called floating production semi-submersible for Gumusut Kakap, technology called TLP for SPA. I'm not too sure how many of you from engineering, yeah. So, but if you are engineering, pay attention to this. These are the technology that being done in Gulf of Mexico, in Brazil, in the North Sea, the challenging places in the oil and gas world. But in Malaysia, we managed to put a strategy. I was telling just now, there's a vision and mission. And in 5 years, we've got 3 different technology embedded in offshore Sabah. And the fabrication is being done in Pasir Gudang. You know the yard? MMHE yard? You know what MMHE stand for? Malaysia Marine Heavy Engineering. But one time I challenged my Petronas good friend when I already left. I said, I don't think you can call Malaysia Marine Heavy Engineering anymore. Why do you say that, brother? Because when I went there to make a visit, or had some job, I've seen a lot of Filipino people, yeah, and also Indian people from Indian continent. So I said, you should call it MMHE, Manila Madras Heavy Engineering. Marah dia. Oh, you cannot say that. I said, why? Because if we set up the yard with the 2 billion ringgit investment, with the hope to get the yard up to the status of world-class facilities, so that budak-budak yang graduate daripada local university, especially yang dekat Johor tu, since today I'm talking in front of UTHM, so I mentioned UTHM, 17,000 students that you have for your enrollment letters, maybe a big portion from engineering or manufacturing, and with the 100 billion ringgit investment is going on, you should be part of it. You should make sure the product of the university, the professional that your VC is talking about yesterday, should be easily grabbed by this contractor because of the quality that they have, the professional traits that they have. Not for other reason. Because we got feedback, I got feedback because I'm still active in the industry. They said, why can't you get this student from this university, local, why are you taking from Singapore? You know what, Prof, you said? The English is wrong. They struggle to communicate in English, let alone the technical verification assessment, let alone the big picture. You know, this powerful graph talk about we are about going to 2020, right? Vision 2020. We are migrating to deep water the last few years. So the terminology is different. So when you teach in university, the syllabus have got to be upgraded. You cannot be talking about to build the shallow water, I need a jacket of 100 meters. And this keep on going until now. Because when these students get out, they're being entered in the job market, the panel of interview, doesn't matter whether Mak Saleh ke local ke ask, okay, we are now going to hire a deep water punya project. What do you know about floaters? Sorry sir, I didn't learn. You're going to be kicked out right away. Those days the sentiment, okay, you are Malaysian, okay lah, I kesian ke you, come. Gone. And this is what the new mandate, Yang Amat Berhormat Tun Dr. Mahathir Prime Minister is saying. We are now going to go for merit. We are going to ensure the Malaysian are tip-top, apart from being beradab dan sopan dan sebagainya. Kan? So if you are talking about, if you ask me in the context of future leader, building the strategic leadership, all of you have got to be part of it. Yeah? And the advantage you have is tremendous. You got Pasir Gudang there, you got Pengerang. So all these are the jewel of the Nile for the country. So you should be getting the first rank of priority, right? It's okay, nothing wrong to say I know Pengerang because the big lobster restaurant is fine. But that should be a secondary. Again, the first priority is, okay, this project this is the requirement, this is the profile. We must go and knock the door. We must be proactive. So out goes the old mindset like, okay, let's sit down. Do you know about this Pengerang? Yeah. Have you been there? No, nobody invite me. Nobody invite me. I haven't got a call from Petronas. That was 20 years ago mentality. Today's mentality, you got to break the super ego, go and knock the door proactively. Sir, we heard you are doing this, we heard construction is ongoing. Can we have a batch of students come and learn what is the progress? What is it, this refinery and crackers that we're talking about? What is it, this turbine process that we're talking about? Then you can bring it back and learn professionally your students, then they can become the professional that you obviously want, that what I want as the industry captain. That's the way. There's no other way. Okay? No other way. If you are saying that, oh yeah, but my syllabus, we are not updated anyway because we thought this is what we know. But it's your job to get out of your comfort zone. Go and find out who are the captain. Okay, today, inshallah, if you know me after this session, so I become one of your resource person, I can connect you, okay? But no point for me to connect you, to give you the networking like I said yesterday, open up this and that, but you don't have the real sincerity to make it happen. Okay? And this is the dilemma that we are facing today. It's not only UTHM, university, locally, GLC University. These are the same dilemma. We are talking about industry collaboration, networking. We launched it at Merit Putrajaya, so grand. But what's next after that? The follow-up is not there. I mean, we are good at planning, isn't it? We are good at planning. We are supposed to spend 20% on planning and 80% on execution or implementation, but because we are so damn smart, we reverse it. 80% on planning, 20% on execution. By the time we reach execution, we are too tired already, no energy, right? And then we laugh it to somebody else. And this is where the failure comes in. That's why we fail. That's why if you read in the media today, the issue of lambatkan pekerja asing, the issue of the fresh graduate didn't land a job after 6 months graduation or 1 year, it is all attributed because all of us, we as the leader in the industry, you as the leader at the university, academia, all of us are responsible. Because we are super ego, we don't want to break the wall, and we just wait. By the time we miss the boat. And by the time we miss the boat, we can always say, it's okay. There will be next time. Yep, there will be next time, until there is no next time. And then when we brought in the technocrat, or we grabbed the graduates from overseas, or maybe across the region, from Singapore, from Korea, whatnot, we only know how to make complaints, right? We only know how to make noise. How come you give... Look at... I'm talking about the truth. You go to Pengerang, the welders are from Nepal, from Bangladesh. And the Bangladeshi are not the Bangladeshi that you and I know before. Dulu, we know Bangladeshi merah ke hijau. Lama ke baru kan? Isi minyak. But they are a different batch of human being today. They came prepared, they know what's happening in the market. They go and enroll themselves in the SKM program to get a certificate, and they can become the welders. 12, 13 ringgit per hour. Kan? We are still living in our own fantasy, believing that we are the best community probably in Malaysia, because we have all this kind of position. Our job is to train the student, the siswa and siswi. I don't really care whether they get a job or not. That's not my concern. So that mentality, until we realize that everything is gone. So, kalau you tengok this message that I want to share with you, from the shallow water, deep water, from rapid, from EOR, enhanced oil recovery, from high CO2 field, dan perbagainya, they are being designed with purpose to actually prepare the next generation of Malaysia to participate and contribute. It's not for people of Malaysia to just pass by. Okay, I just pass by Pengerang, that's all. Orang lain pass by, masuk dalam, get a job, dirty their hand, uplift their CVs, then after that they can go to other part of the world seeking a good pay. Kita hanya berpuas hati dengan tengok saja. Ni macam bina rumah lah kan, pandang dan tengok kan. So, we got to change this. No point for me talking here for 2 hours, but if you guys masuk kanan keluar kaki, you got to take this, okay, let's go and tackle this one particular industry, because there are a lot of things there. I don't know, fine, we'll connect you, we'll open up the network, but we must be very sincere from our heart to make the difference. It is not about, what is it for me? Oh, ini kalau nak buat ni kan kena additional man hours, berapa, boleh ke universiti bayar ni? Kan? No. The reward will come naturally. Trust me and believe me, I went through that. Yeah. So this is the message that I want you to remember. Strategic leadership is not about thinking about the idea. It's not about planning. And the planning and execution have got to be in the correct equation. 20% or 30% in planning and the rest in execution. But there's another element that I always stress wherever I go. You must not forget to follow up and follow through. You are good at planning, you are good at execution, but you don't follow up, you will never learn the dirty laundries, right? Because if you don't get the list of dirty laundries, then you will never improve yourself. Be it in corporate world, be it in academic world. Yeah? Okay? Okay, right. Just 15 more minutes, yeah? I have to wrap up this in there. Yeah? Okay. I'm going to touch about the recent incident in crude oil crisis. But before that, I just want to ask all of you in the room again, the respective professors and lecturers, what is the Brent crude oil price today? Jangan check your Google now. Pardon me? Okay. Any other try? One here, 70. Ni macam nak lelong barang pula ni. Ada lagi? 84. Without looking at your Google. Berapa? Prof, you check sebelum ni ke atau you try je? Try. Brilliant. 70.77 US dollar as of this morning. Okay. You know why I'm asking that? You know, the oil price crisis that we just went through, July 2014 up to December 2017, right? We just recovered slowly this year. You look at the pattern of the graph. This is not the pattern that we want, right? Up and down. But you look at the peak in 2008, 147 US dollar per barrel. The highest ever in the industry ever since I worked in the oil and gas industry. 147. But you look at how long will it sustain? Not that long, right? After that, it's a deep drive down, then you hit around 40, right? And then one time in the year 1998, we hit below $10, right? Okay. My point is this. How many of you, the academician, really pay attention what happened in this business of oil price fluctuation? You might be a professor in psychology, in social science, or even in engineering, but if you don't realize this, look at what happened for the last 3.5 years. Because of the problems that the industry faced, the domino effect to all of us, including universities, is so great, right? Budget being cut. The budget being cut, that's the beginning of the problem. How can you move to produce a professional community? And it's all attributed because the oil price down. Why? Because the government couldn't acquire more money, royalty revenue from Petronas, because the oil price is not as good as before, right? So this kind of thing, the student in university, in polytechnic, in colleges, need to be educated about what's the impact, and so that they can be what you call is equipped with this new culture, like to be careful, berhema, you know, you have to don't be complacent, yeah. But again, this is what happened. But to us, to majority of people, that's not my job. That's Petronas' job. That's Prof. Zul's job. He's a consultant. He was at Petronas. Yes, that's my job. But we alone cannot solve this problem. We need all of you. Yeah? Because unless you analyze the situation, you understand what's going on, then only you are on the right path of becoming the strategic leaders for your organization. Yeah? Yeah.
This graph, is it the cycle of, you know, the weakest, lowest point is the division is within 10 years time, 88, 98?
Okay. I'm expecting you to ask that question. Good question again, Jalil. If you look at this graph, we have gone through 3 crises. The first crisis, we can call it the mid-80, right? It was in the low price situation and it bounced back, right? And then the second crisis in the Great Recession, 1998, kan? It lasts for 2.5 years ago, and then it bounced back. Then the recent one is July 2014. This is a bit weird, a bit longer, 3.5. So everybody, even the historian, the economist is saying, oh, okay, if it drop again, it'd be like the two crises, 2 years, then we are okay. No, this time everybody was wrong. 3.5 years to recover. It happened to be coincident. There is no formula for that, Jalil. But what needs to be studied, if we call ourselves technocrat and academic, we need to know what actually contributing to this issue. There are three major things. Number one is, in my view, is the importance of oil usage by the community, because people in the world use oil consumption quite heavily. Every day we woke up, we'll see we need to use oil, right? So we need to drive the car, whatever, right? Power up the electricity. The second one is actually the supply-demand equation are not in equilibrium. Sometimes you have supply bigger than the demand, sometimes you got demand greater than supply. And this is what attributed back to the earlier slide that I was talking about, OPECs. They are not united. The superpower like US, the China and Russia, they use it as a political weapon to cripple one's economy. This is why strategic leaders is critically important in oil and gas as well, because only the strategic leaders will know how to balance it. Yeah? And the last factor is financial speculator. People like George Soros and the gang that they've been speculating, right? But there is no proof. But these financial speculators make millions of dollars. It's just like share market. Today is, let's say today is $70. Tomorrow you jack it up to 75. And you got how many million of barrels under your consumption. That's how you make money. Likewise, that's how you lose money when you drop. Eh? So if there is any business, any new syllabus, so I take this opportunity to promote, to be introduced in university, try to go on the program of energy economy. Because we need a lot of energy economists in the country who can actually predict, who can actually participate in this kind of job, because this will be marketable. If not in Malaysia, it's everywhere part of the world. Yeah? So just take note of that, yeah.
For me, it's okay because the overall trend is going up, but the demand of the oil is increasing for the whole world according to PP job. Okay. So either up or down is not a concern. Maybe it's a concern for a short-term view, but for long-term, I think it's doing good, and I think the trend is, I mean, the industry will go better.
You're talking about
the overall trend is going up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you look at only the page, 147, you see what happened is all people in greedy at the moment.
Yeah.
All greedy. When the oil price hit $147 in 1998, sorry, in 2008, the people in the industry, Petronas and so on, even have a plan to organize a forum of what if the oil price hit $200. Optimistic is okay, but I use the word greedy because they thought when 147, it's going to go up to 150, I'm going to go 180. They straight away said in December, let's have a forum. The topic of the forum is, what if oil price hit $200? But Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is great. Apa dia kata bila you ingkar arahannya, Allah uji you. You tahu 147. So, bila benda itu berlaku, the leaders, the so-called we thought they're the strategic leaders, don't have the answer to respond to it because they were not sincere. No, they are not sincere. Their sincerity is always okay. 147, 200. If 200, I can have big gaji, big bonus, big houses, big car, big what? Small wife. Yeah. So they start become greedy, yeah. So the moment Allah puji, okay, now you are so greedy, unless you boom 40, they pull 100. Oh, okay, now we have to start reduce the people. Project cannot fly because economic threshold for oil and gas project is about $45 per barrel. Mostly, yeah. No, from okay, you are right. Shallow water is about 25, 30. Deep water 45, 50. So if you are 70 today, actually you are still at Africa. So this is people like Ahmad Masa has to understand. I refuse that to go there. Because you cannot say, oh, okay, we don't need petroleum, we don't need oil profit because we have GST. No. You need to, these people need to understand this is a long-term business. Yeah, because this is a common world commodity. If you produce a professional from UTHM who are good at this so-called oil and gas background, you don't expect them to work only in Pasir Gudang or Pengerang, or in KL Tower, or in Sabah or Sarawak. You can expect them to work all around the world, because this is a world-class business. Because of oil and gas, I've traveled a lot around the world. I've been to US, UK, some of the worst land of China. So, the point is, opportunity is there. Allah Ta'ala has laid down the foundation. Okay, this is the scope. Go get the right people, in this case students, this was this week. Make sure they are equipped to what is this industry wants. Make sure they are well versed with what are the tricks in the industry, including the so-called, this kind of issue, nobody pay attention. You go around and survey the student work, I mean the student, you survey the young graduates, you ask them, what have you learned during the last crisis of July 14 oil crisis? Susah lah, of course, because I tak boleh kahwin, tak ada gaji kan. That's all the thing. They don't think from academic angle, okay, this is, I think, you know, like, I believe we need to be prepared on alternative. I believe, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yes, that's why the issue of renewable energy, some people say, some other groups say, yeah, now that's why we have to push to, we have to move to renewable energy. That's why we need that. So oil and gas cannot be depending anymore. No. You need both. My principle is simple. You need to appreciate conventional oil, conventional energy, while you're recognizing the renewable energy. So both are complementing. Can? Sorry. Okay.
Okay, I just want to know what the impact of Shell oil technology. I remember that all this happened before they introduced the Shell oil technology that menyebabkan lambakan minyak mentah di market. So
correct.
Why don't they foresee this kind of technology coming in?
Okay, I think I must say this is a very intelligent question. That shows that you read a lot. Okay, when you mention the word Shell oil, tak ramai orang aware of that. Okay, okay. What happened is, when this issue of supply demand just now, actually the supply side is bigger than the demand. In addition to the OPEC contribute, the Russia, the non-OPEC, United States of America have this unconventional oil they call Shell oil. And you know, US appetite for oil is 20 million barrels of oil per day consumption. They don't produce much from offshore of US. That's why they need to be in the war in the region. You know why? It's not about removing the weapon of mass destruction. It's not about installing the democratic government. It's about to grab the oil. So that oil that they've been grabbing from Iraq, from Kuwait, are not enough. And from Libya. Libya is 2 million barrels per day. Iraqi is 3 million. Kuwait, 1.5 million. They got it, but not enough. So what do they need to do? They need to open up their unconventional oil called Shell oil. This is a bit complicated, yeah, because they need different technologies or whatnot. The only way to make it economic fly, they need the oil price to be good. And for Shell oil, Isham, to be developed, they need at least minimum $70 per barrel. So this is why, when this fluctuation of oil prices, the involvement of the speculators or even the politic strategy, right? This is actually a superpower deal, because they want to disrupt one way or another. Yeah. But when the oil price reach back to the stable range of 75-80, and I believe this Shell oil will come back, And when they come back, then it is a renewed focus for technology, because shale oil, the fragmented of rock oil that you need to develop, you need technology. So again, yesterday VC said, apart from we have to produce professional, and he did mention about research, right? So this is another area. From your question, I can combine that. This is another area that UTHM, being a TVET university, research TVET university, can look into it. Hey, research, technology to manage this shale oil. And this is a game playground in US, not in Malaysia. So this is why when he talked about, he want the professional to be, the UTHM leaders to be having a global mindset. I guess this is what he meant. You are not only going to be stay within the territory of Malaysia locally, and you become jago kampung. Then if you are jago kampung, you cannot say you are good. You got to be broad enough, you know, because if you produce the professional in oil and gas, global business, you have a technology you can be deployed globally, then you carry the pattern of Malaysia. Again, isn't it wonderful? Again, so that is what I mean. Yeah, but again, you got a point there. The tracking of the oil prices, what I'm trying to get across, will trigger your mind, because people said when we are in the lowest framework of oil prices, we cannot open up the big project, but it is time for you to do R&D, right? To do study, to relook the vision of maintenance strategy. So then when the thing goes back up, you are ready with the product, and the product have got to be applied orientated, not for show off orientated. Kadang-kadang kita ni buat R&D ni nak dapat macam-macam kan, nak kejar dapat title apa semua. Forget about it. Have in mind from now on in your heart, I want to do this so that I can deploy this technology. The community can benefit, the industry can benefit. That is the long-term reward, kan? Then barulah Allah Taala tu permudahkan segala-galanya, insyaAllah. Sorry, I got a question from tadi.
Okay, Prof. Soalan terakhir lah.
Kita nak bagi orang tanya.
Sebenarnya minyak naik ke minyak turun bagus kepada Malaysia? Sebab bila ni tak tahulah politician ni cerita, bila minyak naik dia kata minyak mahal sekarang, bila minyak turun dia kata minyak turun.
Okey.
Dia bagus.
Mana Prof Fazia? I believe you need to organize another session lah, because I'm only at my slide number berapa ni? Baru halfway through tau.
Tak banyak kerja lah Prof.
Ha? I will come. But sebab tu I dah agak, bila Prof Fazia kata 2 jam, I punya introduction saja dah 1 jam kan. Yeah, nanti because I want to be fair to you lah. Yeah. Okay, anyway, I answer you. That's another brilliant question, Jalin. A question, mana yang lebih baik, naik ke turun? Okay, before saya jawab, anybody want to respond to that question dulu? I tahu apa jawapan Mak Maslan. 3.8 CGPA kan. Nanti potong. Okay.
Naik, sebenarnya kita akan dapat revenue lebih banyak, disebabkan kalau kita ikut ada sebahagian pendapatan yang didapat oleh negara adalah berasaskan beberapa sumber, dan certain lagi akan pergi kepada state. Kita nampak banyak, kita ambil contoh palm oil, which is sebenarnya state tak dapat kecuali 2, Sabah dan Sarawak. The rest state didn't get this particular one. So sebab itulah kalau minyak tu harga dia naik, then the Petronas will earn more money to the government. So that's the way. Tetapi rakyat tak apa suka lah, because the price will be up, and itulah punca segala barang-barang lain-lain akan naik. Okay. That's the issue.
Okay, that's one opinion, yeah. I want to hear maybe an opinion from a lady group. Boleh? Siapa? Elizabeth, you want to give a shot? Or Mimi? You want to give a shot? Okay. Tak ada? Okay. Here is my view, my professional view again. First, I want to qualify that this is my personal view. I didn't carry any Petronas punya view or Prime Minister Office punya view. Okay, so minyak turun ke naik ini, kan? In the nutshell, because we are the business entity. For any business entity, they always shoot for the higher price. Because if you got a higher price, what happened, if they say the commodity is peak at high price, Petronas become the national oil company, can then return the revenue, the dividends to the government handsomely. Okay? So that's number one. Okay. What happened if you reverse? What happened if minyak turun? The contribution is less. Okay. Do you know that the perception, the philosophy that what I've gathered after I'm going through to majority of the universities in the country and region during the last 3 years ni yang isu krisis ni, bila I tunjuk this kind of graph, I invite them to I storm their mind lah, brainstorming kan, storm their mind. What do you think? They said, oh, this is bad. It's all bad. But I told them, do you know that you win some and you lose some? You know what I mean by that? Remember, Petronas, we are the producer, right? Even though we produce 500,000 barrels per day, we are still the producer. We are just like the Saudi, 12 million barrels per day, Russia, 10 million barrels per day, yeah? Even the US, the 20 million barrels per day. So this kind of producer, they wish the oil price stay high, because they can reap the benefit. But on the other side of the coin, there are countries which are the importer. Example, Japan, Taiwan, India. These are the biggest importer of crude oil, raw crude oil in the world. Take Japan, for example. If the oil price low, they are the biggest importer. When they import in the biggest volume, what does it mean to the economy? I mean, they pay less, right? Betul? They are the one that wishing and praying to God, please God, don't make the oil price so high because then it affect my economy. But a country like Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, to name a few, or Russia, they are praying, please God, don't drop the oil anymore. Because last incident, what happened in Russia, because of the oil price drop by 70% from the highest peak, it crippled the economy, right? It almost caused a political chaos. Putin almost lost the position. That's what happened to Najib as well. Did you realize that? This is where the GST comes in. The GST has been packaged and being modeled because GST, we say, is quite true. But the question is not, I'm not concerned about the GST not good. I'm concerned, what do you do with the money of the GST collected? If you don't even pay the refund of 19 billion, where does it go? Kan? Contoh lah. Okay? So, there is no right or wrong answer. It depends which side you are. If you are representing a Japanese government, you will say, I wish the oil price is low because I can buy in bulk cheaper. Because I need the oil for my consumption. That's what happened. Japanese is the biggest LNG client for Malaysia, for Petronas. You know, LNG in Bintulu, kan? It's a pity, I have all this slide, but unless Fauziah bagi I 4 jam, dia boleh continue lah, kan? Takut dia tak prepare pula. Well, maybe we split for the next session lah, kan? But I just say a bit. The MLNG plant in Bintulu, one time, we are the largest integrated LNG producer in the world. When I say one time was 5 years ago. Because we produce about 25 million ton per annum. LNG 1, 2, 3. I don't know whether is there any Bintulu people from Sarawak. Kan? So, the gas is being diversified. When you extract the gas, either you send to GPP, gas processing plant, or you send to LNG. And LNG is a lucrative business. Petronas profit for the last few years, the bigger chunk come from LNG. Because we control 75% of the world market. That was 5 years ago. Remember? And in the context of strategic leadership that we talk about today, if we have a leader who are complacent, okay, I've been controlling the world market 75%, I should be now relaxed. Don't start looking at the technology. Don't start looking at the competitor. What is the competitor doing over there? That's what happened to us. 5 years ago, the Qataris, and Qatar, by the way, is the biggest gas field owner in the world. Trillion and trillion. That's why last time when US tried to block Qatar, kan? Remember? Trump said he forced Saudi to actually be unfriendly with Qatar. And the reason to me is not because military or not. It's because the US want to cripple the Qataris' biggest gas resources. Yeah. So what happened? 5 years ago, the Qataris come up with a plan to build the integrated LNG plant with the capacity of 70 million ton per annum. What did I say our number tadi? 25 million ton per annum. 25 million ton per annum, yeah, we are the biggest in the world. Macam baru menang World Cup. Sekali Qatar surprise everybody, because you know why I said surprise? Because we didn't keep track. We didn't smile even. Hey, Qatar is building this. You know, when Qatar builds that, what do they need? Apart from market, they need people, right? What is the easiest way for them to get people? Pinch. They call Jalil, LNG bayar je berapa? 10,000 je bos. I bagi you 40,000, kan datang tak? Lepas tu Jalil pula pas pada Nizam. Bayar Ustaz, we need somebody to baca doa ni. Kan? Ustaz baca doa lebih sikit 50,000. So when that happened, it almost crippled our business operation. So you have a plan ever ready running, you don't have people, and then you don't have ever ready people to be supplied to take over, because the university are not teaching these people, these students, about LNG technology. They're still talking about gas pergi pipeline, gas pergi GPP, kan? Why didn't you ask the university, why didn't you prepare this? I don't even know, Prof. Should I know, then I plan. Problem lah kita ni. Problem. That's why bila Malaysia baru ni, bila saya sit down dengan Tun, saya try nak memahami apa misi dan visi kepala otak dia. And he keeps saying, saya tak lama, saya dah 93. Kita berdoa biarlah panjang umur, kan? Saya tak lama. But imagine a strategic statement, a leader like that, kalau dia tak ada besok, macam mana? Do you think he changed the chairman of Petronas for nothing? When the moment he got the power, he said, Nazir Siddiq, you are up, because you are not the technocrat in that line, kan? You are purely previous premier punya blue eye boy. I want to bring someone who understands the business, who can help taking Petronas to a greater height. Delegate the key messages so that everybody will participate and contribute. Tak kisahlah UTHM ke, UTM ke, UM ke, but everybody got to participate, because the cake is big, ladies and gentlemen. It's big. If I take a load rapid, let me jump a bit lah, yeah, so that I tengok you tengah semangat ni, kan. Okay, this is rapid. Simple je. Okay lah, I boleh cakap simple lah, but I'm technical, kan. But in one page, you know already, okay, there is a refinery, then there is a cracker. From the cracker, you produce all those high quality product, right? And then you said, okay, I need VC, your VC, your favorite word, I need professional, kan? You name it, you got it. Daripada design, daripada construction, daripada even procurement, kan? It's all there. What you need to do is go and knock the door of this rapid. Sir, can I have a 1 hour session with your group? I'm going to bring my leader of 46 of you, kan? Can we have a session about what is rapid all about? Where we can contribute, participate. But jangan buat macam zaman dulu. Zaman dulu masa saya di Petronas, masa saya jaga projek, kalau local, especially orang Melayu kita lah, minta maaf, datang, bila datang nak dapat projek, dengan muka sedihnya apa semua, kan, sir, tak tolong sir, saya ni Melayu ni, saya minta lah pada projek, bagilah apa-apa pun. Ada yang sedih tu, saya baru je lepas kahwin 2 ni, masalah pula ni, projek tak ada, kahwin, kan. Itu pun ada juga. I just bought Porsche, tengok kena hit. Okay. Kan, dia kata, I baru tukar Porsche ni. So, those days, if you come, tolonglah bagi, because saya ni orang Melayu. Today is gone. Today the mentality yang saya nak, yang kita dah war-warkan, bila you jumpa whoever the contractor, Petronas ke Syakir, so you tell them, look, I'm Malaysian, I have this technology, I have this kepakaran of my team, how can we help you? It's a different mentality kan. Tolonglah, Malaysia bagilah, kesian. Dengan, I have this technology, I have this know-how. How can I help you? To ensure your cost saving, to ensure your efficient operability, operation, whatnot, kan? Then only you earn the respect. This is the Malaysia baru. This is. Dia tanya, Prof Lajim, you daripada mana ni? UTHM. Dia barulah. Can I get more information? If you don't do that, you can be, much better closer than the site. Dia takkan nampak, kan? Tak apalah. VC kata this is DNA, VC kata this is we want to produce. Tapi kalau tak ada sambutan, tak ada action, tak ada follow through, as I said tadi, it won't happen, kan? So that's why my point is, grab as much as you can. I mean, this learning is never stop. Even myself, I never consider myself as complete already. Even though I give a lot of talk, these are at my fingertip, but I still want to learn new things. I still want to learn from academician. What area you have that can the industry sambut and build together, kan? So inshallah. So anyway, as I promised the organizer today, I think we have to what do you call this, come again. Cuma I want to leave this one or two slide lah. To me, the strategic leadership, when you talk about strategic leadership, doesn't matter, leadership, patriotism or nationalism, you just have to remember these four things. The knowledge, why we do it, still an element of why, the skill, then only you talk about how to do it. These two, the knowledge and skill are very easy. Everybody talks about it when they talk about leadership, right? But what are the hardest part? Which is the last two, the wisdom, the what to do next, and the virtue to really do it. I mean, you don't just talk, you walk the talk. So if you can remember this, I know you go to Google, you will find a lot of kind of definition, but my definition is knowledge, skill, wisdom and virtue. And inshallah, whatever role that you're going to be given after this, whether you are in the university, UTHM or other university, inshallah, if you maybe cross paths to industry, if you hold this principle, trust me and believe me, dengan izin Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can't be wrong. Yeah, you can't be wrong. Because as long as you guide yourself with this kind of hard element and soft element, things will be easier for you because you are sincere, right? So, a lot of people thought with this knowledge and skill, I'm going to be a fine individual. So I don't have to go further. This is what Datuk Rohana said semalam. This is what Datuk Rohana AKEPT said in the 4th of August when I attended the high-level brainstorming session with the board of director. He said, we have a program for the top management academician, people like you people and your bosses, but they don't want to attend. Believing that, hey, I know already what. Why should I attend? So, anta the second liner, third liner. So, the objective will not meet. Because they are supposed to be the one that come and get the knowledge and then impart the knowledge. For whatever reason known to them, they don't want to come. But kalau pergi US, UK, okay, I'll come. Again, that's wisdom. Because you're not being true to yourself. You're not being yourself. If you're not being true to yourself, how do you expect your followers to respect and lead? To lead the followers and respect you, right? So, it is there. It doesn't matter. This is what I learned. 28 years in industry. 20 years solidly in Petronas. I've been in. I tunjuklah sikit nanti kempunan pula kan. Okay. Case one, I was trying to tell you about Asampaya, a small field onshore between Sarawak and Brunei. This Asampaya, nobody want to take this job to be the team leader. So that's why I become the candidate. Yang lain-lain semua nak pergi yang besar-besar. Because Asampaya punya recoverable is 3.5 million barrel. Production dia, 1,200 barrels per day from 3 well. You ask people in oil and gas in Petronas, you were given a chance to do a project with 50,000 barrels per production dengan 1,000 production, definitely they go for 50,000, right? Then we'll say, tak nak lah, nama pun Masam. And I'm telling you the truth. When I accepted this job, when I come back from Miri, because I have no choice. No, I'm not choice. The company have no choice. Semua orang tak ada. I take it and I said, what's the issue? The issue is unitization agreement tak settled 11 years because we didn't tackle that from the legal perspective. We didn't have a good rapport with Brunei Shell. Kan? So Alhamdulillah, with our team, young team, we wanted to settle it. But the issue is not whether is it 1,000 barrels, is it 3 wells. But your sincerity in delivering the task given with the hope you can close the deal. So what happened? This is 97 to 99. So even in the meeting of team leader, like you all ada 40 orang macam ni kan, bila ada meeting, I'm always the last person to be update because they say your project is kecil, dah tu masam. Sometimes they say, sorry Zul, tak cukup, next time you brief. But ini yang Ustaz saya pesan malam tu, Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala is the greatest. You know why I say that, ladies and gentlemen? When I was given the task of 3 well, 1,200 barrels per day, in the middle of jungle tu, sampai saya nak pergi, bila saya nak pergi travel ke lawat site, wife saya kata, where are you going? I'm going to Miri. You going offshore? No. Dia kata, how come you didn't bring your safety gears, your coveralls? Lalu you pergi Miri je bawa? Yeah, but this time I'm not going offshore. Then where are you going? I'm going to onshore hutan. Huh? Dia pun macam sangsi, betul ke you nak pergi Miri ni? Dia orang pun tak tahu, rupanya kita ada discovery dekat onshore. But when the thing was settled, what did Allah SWT, what is the rezeki come next? If you can read, this is the Chad Cameroon job in the central of Africa. Remember I said the Asam Paya 3 well, 3.5 million recoverable and 1,200 barrels per day. Chad and Cameroon, instead of 3.5 million recoverable, it has 900 million recoverable. Subhanallah. Daripada 3.5, it jumped to 900 million barrel. Daripada 3 well Asam Paya, it naik 300 plus well. Daripada 1,200 barrels per day, it jumped to 250,000 barrels per day from that particular field. Those people yang dulu tak nak jadi Asam Paya, tak nak associated with Asam Paya, bila nak offer tak nak lah, kecil lah, boring lah kan, hutan. When Petronas got invitation from the Chad government, there was 3 parties. It's actually ExxonMobil. This is where Mike Sewell story tadi lah. When I was in the sharing room with Mike Sewell. ExxonMobil, Chevron, ExxonMobil 40%, Petronas 35%, Chevron Texaco 25%. So can you imagine? We are only 5% different than the ExxonMobil. We have a big say, guys, you know. And bila Exxon nak minta orang Petronas, send me your best people, your best professional. 300 orang hantar CV. And Exxon kata, I just want the people in Petronas who are familiar with onshore development. Mana ada kat Malaysia ni? Except Asam Paya kan? Sekali bila nak minta CV, nasib baik project director tu bos saya lah, kawan saya sampai hari ni. Dia panggil saya datang, Zul, come datang my office. You tengok ni, you kenal budak ni? Tak kenal. Dalam CV dia, involve in Asam Paya, pernah meeting Asam Paya. Sebab berangan Exxon akan nampak pernah buat kan. Itu baru nak lepaskan selection. Definitely kalau pergi interview tak lepas, apa tak pernah buat. Ini cerita benar ni. I know it's being rakam. It's okay. Berani kena benar. 300 orang claim. Dulu nak cari orang komen susah. Zul lah. Zul baru balik daripada Miri. Zul pun tak ada kenal orang KL. Saya lah buat. So Allah Ta'ala tu rewarded pada kita ni, kalau kita jujur, daripada small field ke biggest field in the world. Until today, the field is still producing. And not only I've been involved in this job, the World Bank, the World Profile job, but I learned with ExxonMobil, Chevron, Texaco. You cannot go wrong with these 2 giant companies. And these people, even though they are Mat Saleh, they are not Muslim kan, but sometimes they are better than our Muslim colleague. They don't have PhD. Bukan doktor filosofi no. Perangai asal dengki. And for them, when you call them, hey Mike, I'm being tasked by the new position to do deep water in Petronas. But I don't know anything about deep water because last time when I was with you, we onshore. Never mind, Zul. I'll connect you to John. John is the head of deep water in Exxon. That's how they do. Cuba kita, especially Melayu, you simpan dalam poket you punya connection kan, sebab hoping that orang lain tak boleh lebih daripada you. Subhanallah kan. Technocrat berlaku begitu di industri. I don't know about the academician in the university, but I'm sure it happened kan. So this is true story. So the moral of the story, what I'm trying to tell you, don't be so choosy. When your boss said, Prof Lajim, sorry lah I kena quote Prof Lajim, but dia seorang je kawan Facebook I. Prof Lajim, can you do this thing? You tak boleh kata, this one no glamour boss. Kan? So I tak nak, jangan. Accept this as part of the orang kata ibadah, and do your best shot. Do your best shot. But once you are sincere with your whole full hearted, you get it through, Allah Ta'ala will give you some reward. So this is a true story of my journey when I said from small field to the big field, from Miri, Sarawak to Africa. The job is in Africa, by the way, but I stayed in Houston, okay, for 2 years. And that's where I learned about September 11. Itu kalau nak ceritakan lagi 1 jam. I better save that for the next session. But the moral of the story, gentlemen, okay, this myself, I mean pakai jaket hitam tu, I'm the only Petronas, the one guy from Chevron, the rest are ExxonMobil. This is during the startup team. So there was in the world's CNN punya news apa semua kan, tak apalah. It's not for my personal glory, it's for the country. Yeah. So if my contribution make the Petronas name mantap, alhamdulillah. At least I've done my amanah. We talk back isu tadi kan, amanah. Kan, maknanya this is not my personal glory. If this is my personal glory, I will say something good about myself saja. Tidak, kan? Imagine, I mean, I didn't tell my wife lah, but today nanti I show the video kat dia. I almost die in one of the trip from one side to another side. We just took the, you know, this is third world country, you know. This was 2002. In one of the trip, we moved from one side to another side. We have to take the Fokker, macam Fokker equivalent. You know, there is no maintenance, nothing. Everybody was, you know, that part of the world, kan? And then one incident lah. And I was, because I'm the only Melayu Petronas, so I duduk belakang, a 12-seater punya flight. We just, it's take about an hour and a half. It's only about 15-20 minutes on the air. Oil drop, tup, titik atas kepala ni kan. I tengok, wow. And I said, this is dangerous, right? I unbuckle. I go and see the team leader, John yang belah kanan ni. Now dia jadi president of Chevron International. And I said, let's go and tell the co-pilot. This happened to be a Dutchman. So we told him, hey, there's an oil drop. Ah, that's normal, sir. You come here, it's normal. For $200 per day punya allowance. $200. At that time, 2.5. I'm sacrificing myself for the family, for the nation. Nak cari sesuap rezeki kan. But I'm the ambassador for the country, because when I met them, I met the Chadian minister, the Cameroon minister. I have to tell them I'm from Petronas, Malaysia. So the moment I told them I'm from Petronas, Malaysia, at that time Tun still in power kan. Tun retired 2003, right? It was 2002. The Chadian minister, that's another true story. We were trying to get the approval by the Chadian minister. Minister have to approve, not the company. Because that's how detailed they are. So we came about 10 of us. My boss, there's another boss, Mark Silbert, is a Jew, Yahudi. But nice Yahudi lah. I was sitting at the corner, the board table. They were struggling to get the approval from Chad minister, and the Muslim. And the minister is trying to make it life difficult. And finally the guy said, hang on a minute, sir. I've got my member actually from Malaysia, from Pendidikan. Ah, you from Malaysia? You Muslim? Ya, dia bangun. Shake my hand. Terus dia kata, the reason why we brought Petronas, we approved Petronas in this consortium for 35% because of your Prime Minister, Dr. Mahathir. Because of him. We respected him, we admired him, the way he championed the third country. Can you imagine? And that's true. I told Ton about it. You know what Ton said to me? Terima kasih lah Zul. Selama ni semua kutuk saya. Semua kata saya ni lah curi duit Petronas bagi anak saya. ni. Tapi ini first time saya dengar you kata orang luar puji saya, bagi kontrak pada Petronas because of saya. Dia tak menangis tapi suara dia dah macam tu. I mean, subhanallah, I mean, it's all recorded. I'm telling the truth. That's why I boleh tunjuk gambar yang bukan apa, bukan nak menunjuk, tidak. I just want to share with you. This man is trying to bring back the glory to the country. And the glory can only be achieved if all of us contributing. Not only the technocrat like me, but the academician as well. I can produce a job, I can create a project like Rapid and so on, but you don't produce the professional that I need, it's not going to help me. You produce a good professional, I don't create a job, it's not going to help as well, right? So everybody got to work together as a team, solid team. And we need a strategic leadership like the current Prime Minister to make it happen, inshallah. Okay, I better stop here at the end of the day, so let me see what's my last slide. You know, sometimes when you become a penceramah like this kan, so because you do it, that's different. Kalau kata saya baca, saya ambil orang punya pengalaman, saya compose, saya share lain. Because I melaluinya, I can stop for hours and hours. But ada two slides I want to share. This is Malaysian tiger, right? I hope when I say that we all have to contribute one to another, you produce the professional, so-called human resource capital. We produce in the industry prasarana. We blend it very well. So one day, we are no longer to be a pussycat. We're going to be the Asian tiger again, right? And last but not least, selamat hari ulang tahun kemerdekaan yang ke-61 pada 31 Ogos ni. So, ladies and gentlemen, apa yang saya kongsikan hari ini datang daripada hati saya yang ikhlas. So, kalau ada salah dan silap, saya minta maaf. Sometimes when you want to impart the knowledge ni, sometimes you kena berkeras, sometimes you kena bertepuk meja. Bukan apa, the sheikh datang kan, the aura tu. So, back to what Prof. VC Wahid Razali said semalam. Ask why, and ask why. Must have a sincere heart in whatever you do. Never question, oh, this is too small for me, this is not my play, this is not my playground. Just take it and do it. Amanah, bukan amanah mak sabu, real amanah, seperti mana yang diajar dalam kita punya Al-Quran. And let Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Not VC, not DVC, not anybody else. Yeah? And be a global champion. Be a professional. If you want to produce a professional, you got to be a professional first. And last but not least, apa juga knowledge yang dikongsikan selama 2 jam lebih ni, yang tak seberapa ni sebenarnya, yang biasa aja. Kalau dapat saudara dan saudari kumpulkan balik ke kampus, delegate note, sharekan dengan your students apa yang you belajar, apa hikmahnya, some of the knowledge yang you belajar ini. Mudah-mudahan bukan saja saudara dan saudari mendapat faedahnya, saya juga sebagai pemangkinnya akan dapat sedikit pahala. And that's all I need. That's all we need when we go down one day. It's not to bring our title yang berjela, it's not to bring our harta, bukan anak-anak kita yang pandai yang dengan kejayaannya. It's what is in our hati, our heart, our keimanan, ketakwaan. What we have done to make an impact to others, yeah. So segala yang baik itu datang daripada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Kesilapan, kelemahan adalah salah saya sendiri. So, saya sudah ini. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum. Ya.
Okay, tinggi penghargaan dan ucapan terima kasih kepada Yang Berbahagia Profesor Ajung Zulkifli di atas ceramah yang disampaikan. Seterusnya dijemput Puan Naimah untuk menyampaikan cerita hati kepada Yang Berbahagia Prof. Dipersilakan.
Ada cerita hati juga